So recently, I have done something really big. I did something that I did not really think I would ever do, and it took me almost 10 years to prepare myself for doing this. It was something that I felt like I had to do to finally feel some kind of like closure in my life, some kind of mental clarity. If you have been following this channel and following me for a while, then you have an idea about the struggles that I have been going through. Like, when I was in high school, I convinced myself that I was the attractive one, that I was the guy that girls wanted to date. And so when my crush then rejected me, I was confused and I was like, how can she not like me, the attractive one that girls want to date? And I could not take her no for an answer, and I kept bothering her, and then I basically had to be told by an adult that she talked to, basically that I had to leave her alone. And I had the mentality that, oh, I am indeed attractive, I am amazing, I am charming, I am handsome, but this girl just doesn't see it, but other girls will. But then I kept getting rejected, ghosted, or used by other girls. Meanwhile, other people my age would get into relationships. And I was like, how can those average looking people get into relationships? How can they attract the opposite gender and not me, the attractive one? And so eventually I realized that maybe I was being desperate for a girlfriend, and maybe that was the reason why I could not get a girlfriend. But the reason why I was desperate was because I felt the need to prove to everyone and the universe that I was indeed attractive, and that the girls that rejected me were wrong, that they missed out on a great deal. And so I asked myself, how can I prove that I am attractive without being desperate for a girlfriend? And so that was one of the reasons why I started this channel. And when I first started this channel, I was basically playing this like alpha male persona character. I wanted to give off the illusion that I was this like high value man, that I was this like new Andrew Tate 2.0 or something. So that way I would prove that I am attractive. But instead, my videos performed really poorly, and I got a lot of criticism that I am not that attractive and not that good looking and all that. And at first I was like, oh, those comments that criticize me, they are just haters. Haters gonna hate. I am attractive. But that did not explain why girls were constantly rejecting me and why I was not getting any matches on dating apps. And so eventually I had to realize that a handful of those haters, maybe not all of them, but most of them, were actually trying to help me. And so then I have been on a looks maxing journey that I am still on because I still want to be attractive. I want to become the attractive ladies man, kind of. But I also realized that it was not good for me to obsess over being this attractive ladies man. Because, like, what if I never become attractive? Then what will I do? Will I give up on life? And so I had to find something else that I could kind of invest my life on. But I couldn't do that. The only thing I lived for was to become attractive, was to prove to everyone that the girls that rejected me were wrong. That was like my drive. That was what kept me living. That was what kept me moving forward in life. And so when I tried to find something else to do with my life, such as language learning, writing music, and things like that, it just did not feel as satisfying to me as whenever I felt attractive. Like, whenever I was convinced that I was attractive, I felt happiness that I did not feel from anything else. Nothing else in life could give me that amount of happiness. But then I realized, after many years have passed, that maybe the fact that nothing else could make me happy other than being attractive was not something cute and be like, it was not cute or inspiring like all those men you see that are like, I only feel alive when I am in danger. I only feel alive when I do my purpose. The same way I only felt alive whenever I felt attractive. But I realized that was a mental illness. The reason why I could not feel happy from anything else in life was simply because I did not allow myself to be happy from anything else. When I felt attractive, that was the only time I felt like I was good enough to deserve happiness in life. And that happiness could come from anything. But whenever I felt like I was not attractive, I felt like I simply don't deserve to be happy, and therefore nothing in life could make me happy. So I guess it really is like they say, happiness comes from within. And so I had to forgive myself, like for the past mistakes that I have done, and for being stupid, for thinking that I was way more attractive than I really was in high school. I had to forgive myself so that I could allow myself to feel happy. And so with that, I did something very big. I did something that I never thought I would ever have the humility to do. And when I first did this, I hesitated to share about it on the internet. Like, I share many things. I have shared many things on the internet. But this was something so special to me that I kind of did not want to just share it out to the public. Because I think it's kind of cringe when you announce all your good deeds. Like, at that point, it just comes off like you're just doing good deeds so that you can get some validation from other people that, oh, look at how good this guy is. He does so many good deeds. And so when you constantly have to announce the good things that you do to yourself and others, it kind of loses its impact and feels like you're just doing it for validation. And I did not want that to be the case with like the things I have done. And therefore I have waited for like almost a month after doing this big thing before I would finally announce it in this video. And the reason why I now want to announce it was because at the end of the day, I still want to inspire others. I want to show others how you can go from being like this narcissistic incel Andrew Tate wannabe, this like huge spurg, huge loser, or whatever that people think has nothing going with for in their life. That you can go from like being the most pathetic piece of shit ever to finally like grow up, to actually improve as a person. I want to show other people that you can actually improve as a person, that you don't have to forever be the person that you always was. And so, with revealing, when I'm about to reveal what I recently did, I feel like this will be for the greater good. Like, I will get to inspire other people that are watching this. And so, what I did was I reached out to that crush that rejected me in high school. I reached out to her on social media. After almost 10 years of no contact, because I happened to have her on social media, I reached out to her. And I apologized for how I have treated her, and I explained to her everything. I explained why I have acted the way I did towards her. And I'm gonna show you the text that I have written to her, and it's not the original text, because the original text is in Swedish. So what I'm about to show on the screen is an English translation, which I have done myself, but some of the meaning might still be lost in translation, which maybe is good, because maybe the original actual text, I kind of want to keep it private and personal, but I can still show you the translation, the English translation of the Swedish text that I have sent to her, and here is the text. And when I sent this, I was not expecting any response from her, or any good response or anything. The reason why I sent this message was to do something that I thought was impossible. I never thought that I would ever have the humility to ever post something like this. This whole time I had the mentality that I am attractive, I am Giga Chad. This girl, she is in the wrong for rejecting me. I am in the right. And so, with this kind of message where I admit that, like, maybe I was in the wrong, maybe she was in the right, I never thought that I would have the humility to ever do this. And so the fact that I did this, sent this message in the first place, this was something very special for me. This was to indicate growth within me, and it was to close a chapter in my life, to finally get some closure and open up a new chapter in my life. But the thing is, she responded, and not only that, but she gave a very good response, which I can show. I'm showing right here, and once again, this is English translation of a Swedish text, so once again, some of the meaning might be lost in translation. But she sent such a good response. And this is now what I call my credibility, my testimony to the fact that I have, how would I say it, improved as a person, grown as a person, changed as a person. And so now, this was my way to kind of get closure in all of this. And so now I have decided to start a new chapter. And now that I have started a new chapter, I now have credibility to teach others how they can grow as people as well, how they can grow with me. Because, like they say, you need to help yourself first, and only then can you help others. And so, with this message that I sent, I managed to help myself. And, like, keep in mind, this message was flowing from the heart, and it took me like 10 years almost to prepare for the perfect message to send. And this was like the perfect message that I sent. And so now that I have sent this message, I have credibility to help other people. And that is why I now have started a course. I know it's kind of cringe. It's like, oh my god, this video was so deep, and now you're just selling a course, now you're just being some shady businessman. But this was my dream. Don't see it as me just being some slimy businessman trying to sell you a course. See this as me living my dreams. And being a businessman that has a course was part of my dreams. So now I am chasing my dreams with starting a course. This is me living out my goals in life. And so yeah, I have started a course where I teach self-improvement specifically to young men with autism. Because I feel like there just isn't enough content on the internet that is specifically geared towards young men with autism. I feel like most of the self-improvement advice, most of the self-improvement content on the internet is mainly geared towards normies, towards neurotypicals. And as an autistic person, I felt very much alienated, frustrated, and confused many times by the self-improvement advice that is on the internet. And I feel like many people that consume this type of content are also autistic young men like me that have also felt alienated and frustrated and confused at why this mainstream self-improvement advice doesn't work on them. Like, it works on other people, but it doesn't work on me. Why? And I'm pretty sure that a lot of young men today have this feeling. And so I have created a course specifically for people like them and specifically for people like me, where I teach things that have worked for me. Keep in mind, I am still learning some things in life. I still have to learn some things in life. But for now, I am preaching the things that I have learned so far, that have worked for me so far. I preach that in my course. And as I gain more knowledge and more wisdom, as I grow older and I learn more about life, I will add more to this course, and the value of this course will go up. And so the price will go up. And so if you are someone, or you know someone who would be interested in this course, like a young man who is insecure about their autism, that feels frustrated at the world because just nothing works out for them, I think it would be good to buy this course now before the price goes up. I'm just saying. And yes, there is some content out there on the internet that is geared towards autistic people, but from what I have seen, like, I have tried to keep in mind, I am an autistic person myself, so of course, I wanted self-improvement advice specifically for autistic people. But unfortunately, pretty much all the content that I have seen on the internet that is geared towards autistic people is so surface level. It's like, oh, you want to be more social? Join people with the same interests, and you will be fine. I have tried doing that and it did not work. And so, therefore, in my course and from now on, I will teach things that have worked for me, and I will go in full detail. Not only what I have done to improve, but why it worked. I will go in like full detail. My content will not be surface level, and it's not surface level the things I have started to preach and will preach even more in my course. Like the deep level, the detailed self-improvement advice for autistic people. I just haven't seen it anywhere on the internet. Like this field is so horrifyingly undersaturated. And so someone has to do this form of content, and so I have decided that I will be the one to make this type of content. And so, with that said, the link to that course is in the description if you are curious.